friends. Today's art lesson is how to make something out of anything. This is a really fun exercise for you to practice what can you do when an accident happens or when something comes up unexpectedly when you're making your art or you're making your drawing. It's going to force you to use your imagination to maybe correct a mistake or even just do a fun exercise of making something out of a mess up, making something out of an accident. So I'm going to show you a few ways that you can do that. You can follow along with me, but this video might be a little bit more of an observation lesson where you can just watch my different exercises and then try some more on your own. I'm going to be using paint and markers and some paint pens, but you can go ahead and use whatever you want at home for your own exercise on how to make anything into something. So for today's lesson on how to make something out of anything, I'm going to be using a bunch of different supplies that I happen to have around my house. I have a paintbrush, I have a paint pen, a marker, a pencil, and what we're going to be practicing today is we're going to be practicing the art of how to make anything out of something. How to make a scribble or a mess up or something that was unexpected into something else. This is a really great practice for how to handle mistakes or how to handle unexpected things. Now, I have some paint here, and you can get out some paint if you want, or a crayon, or you can just watch and get an idea. All right, I'm just gonna drop my paintbrush. Oh, look at that. I just completely messed up. And you know what? I messed up and I'm going to try and fix it. And I just made it worse. Okay. What are we going to do with this completely random and accidental shape? I'm going to use my imagination and get started. So because this is wet and it's a paint blob, I'm going to use my pencil, but I can actually use my pencil over wet. So I see this shape, and you know what? I actually see a person, and this person has a really thick scarf, and she is going through a winter blizzard. You can see her hair like this, and she is treading through a winter blizzard. Now, would you have ever thought of that coming from that complete paint accident? Let's get out another piece of paper. All right, this time I have this really cool Japanese pen brush that I like to use, and it has a lot of different textures, but let's just say, oh, I don't know, I'm drawing along, and then, oh, look, I just made a complete mistake. Well, let's turn this into something. And now I'm completely making this up as I go along. I have not planned this at all. And I actually am starting to see a little bit of a dog. Do you guys see this? You kind of see this rough. In fact, I'm going to keep using this particular brush that I was using because I like the shape that I was getting from it. Here's that dog paw that I accidentally drew. I'm going to draw another one, and he's got his nice back. It's going to be kind of shaggy like this, and he's a real shaggy dog. Like here's his hind legs, and let's have him running like this. We got this nice shaggy dog, and you can see how his ears are kind of maybe not in exactly the right position, but that's because the accidental shape I made, that's exactly where they were. And so we're going to keep it like that because it's a great exercise in being able to use what accidentally happens. All right, let's do this one more time. Now, say we're drawing along. We've got our marker here. Oh, I don't know, I'm drawing, and then my arm slips and I get this horrible squiggle. That's going to be a really interesting experiment. What could we make this shape into? Now, what you see is probably going to be different than what I see. And what I see is, let's see here. I actually see something really imaginary, actually. I see this really kind of alien shape here and person. The reason why I got this idea is because this little random squiggle right here, and I'm going to turn this into an imaginary creature. I don't know, like a Dr. Seuss creature or a completely imaginary creature. As you're using your imagination, that's really the key, is what does your imagination see? Now for me, a lot of times I see creatures, or I see animals, or I see people, and that's because that's what I draw the most with my art. But you might see something completely different, and that's really the purpose of this exercise, is what do you see in that accidental shape, and what does it make you think of, and what does it make you imagine? So go ahead, make some happy accidents, and let's get imagining.